Shalom, Yahweh Basham, Yoshai Basham, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Stone who teach us this truth. Salutation and greetings to the hopeful elect scattered abroad amongst the nation that look like the nation. This is Banaya. So I will be playing this audio. This is only for educational purpose. I'm making no funds from it. No money that is from it, okay?
Well, it's being called a microplastics genocide, and we are facing a toxic tidal wave in our food supply. A few new reports out over the past few days shows that microplastics have invaded everything. Our water supply, our food supply, you probably know that already. But now, new reports show it's in our bloodstream. And they found that in 88% of the meats we consume, it's in our soil, it's in our produce. They're quietly rewriting our biology. So as we're sitting here, all these microplastics in our body are rewriting our biology. How will it affect our ability to have children and live into old age? The studies are terrifying. Endocrine disruptors, inflammation, even death. So how do we fight back? Well, that's what Kim Bright is here to break down. Kim is a true pioneer in the world of natural health and nutrition. You know her well. She spent decades ahead of her time, really. Kim Bright is the founder of Bright Core Nutrition, one of the original forces behind the MAHA movement. Kim, welcome back to the show. Great to see you.
Hey, Clayton. Thank you for having me back. Always a pleasure.
My pleasure. I want to bring receipts this time, and I want our audience because, how do we fight back about it? This is a real question. How do we fight back against this? We'll talk about how to protect your body, how to detox, how to detox your cells, nourish yourself in a world that's becoming increasingly toxic. So we'll get there in a second, but maybe we can just sort of lay out what you're seeing right now in the environment. Like, if you could run down a list of, what are the toxins that we are currently facing in 2025?
Those dangers are all around us. They're 5G, the towers. We have more electrical energy coming at us than at any other time in human history. Pharmaceuticals, chemicals in our soil, our water, in the air we're breathing, mRNA vaccines. All these things are inundating us. But there's something that is it's more evil because you can't see it, is the microplastics. And I want to make sure everybody out there understands what microplastics truly are. What they are they chemical polymers and they're fragments of chemical polymers that they subsist of these macromolecules. They form a chain, and they just keep repeating themselves, which makes them really strong binding together things that are almost unable to be destroyed. So when I talk about macroplastics actually, the size of them, or I want to get this right, is less than 0.2 inches. All right, that's 0.2 tenths of an inch, all the way down to 1/250,000. Okay, that's tiny, and anything smaller than that's considered nanos, and that's measured in the millions and the billions. So we're talking about things that are just unbelievably small that we can't see. But it's almost like this is a genocide, like you said, and it's really abundant everywhere.
We're told to avoid like plastic water bottles. So as I'm sitting here, my wife, when we were, raising our little children, and, she was very adamant, let's use glass, or after she would pump breast milk, and put it in a glass bottle and all of that. And go to such great lengths to try to keep that kind of plastics out of our house. But then you almost feel like you're just, you're like Sisyphus trying to push a boulder up a hill, because it seems like it's impossible, because we're told to avoid plastic water bottles, but studies now show that it's even, it's in our tap water already. It's in rainwater. And so is there really truly any water source left that's free of this stuff?
Not really. I mean, even after, and it's called plasticosis.
So I was just about to ask you, how is this, we talked about the prevalence of where this stuff is all around the world, in everything. So what exactly is it doing to our bodies? This plastictosis? What is it doing to our bodies?
Plastotosis, it's actually other toxins. So they're bringing in other pathogens and toxins on top of themselves, and they love fat. So they tend to go to our brain, our liver, our kidneys, areas in the body where we have a lot of fat in our fat cells. So I found this study unbelievable, that this is true, and we can get this job, at least we can control some part of our interior of our body to get rid of these microplastics. So I was very, very excited about that.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, it seems like with all of it just surrounding us on a regular basis, it's almost impossible to get it out of our bodies. And this study we have here, that our brains are now 99.5% human and then 0.5% plastic. That is unbelievable to me. And this researchers at University of Mexico have found that there's a 50% increase just from 2016. From the year 2016 when they were doing autopsies. That blew me away, Kim, because that would mean that our brains today are somewhat human and then mostly plastic. But why do you think we've seen this massive increase since 2016, only 9 years ago?
Well, because they just keep manufacturing more microplastics. It's constant. It's just the 500 million plus. And, living along coastlines now, they've proven that diabetes rates go up, type 2 diabetes, the heart and the stroke and all these things. It's getting crazy. And now they're actually diagnosing.
I'm going into the scriptures. Wow. Okay. So Isaiah. Isaiah 13 and 19. Let's see. Okay, Isaiah 13 and 19. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellence shall be as when Yahweh overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation, neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and all shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there. Isaiah 14 and 21. Let's start at 17. Let's start at 13. For thou hast said in thy mind or heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of Yahweh, I will sit upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north, I will ascend above the heights of the cloud, I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, the sides of the pit. So it's in a low condition. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? So it's a man. It's a race of people that made the world as a wilderness and destroy the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners. All the kings of the nation, even all of them, lie in glory, everyone in his own house. But thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the remnant of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword, that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden on the foot. Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land. Yes, he is the destroyer of the earth. You know who he is. And slain thy people, the seed of evildoers shall never be renowned. Prepare a slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their father, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. For I will rise up against them, said Yahweh of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant. It's not talking about ancient Babylon, it's talking about Babylon the Great right now. And remnant and sons and nephew, said Yahweh. Okay? Obadiah 2. Obadiah 2. Obadiah 2. Obadiah 2. Habakkuk 2. Habakkuk 2. Habakkuk 2 and 8. Cast thou upon many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land of the city, and of all that dwell therein. Woe to him that covered an evil covetousness, to his house, that he may set his nest on high. Who does that? That he may be delivered from the power of evil. Thou hast cancelled shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and hast sinned against thy soul. Who has done that? For the stone shall cry out of the wall, and the beam out of the timber shall answer it. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, and stabilizes a city by iniquity. Who has done that? The making of America. Yeah? Or was it made? Revelation 11 and 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servant the prophet, servants the prophet, and to the saints and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. First Timothy 6 and 2. 6 and 20. O Timothy, give that which is committed to thy trust, avoiding profane and vain babblings and opposition of science falsely so called. Yes, because their science is false. Pseudoscience. False science that they put up. You remember the C19? Yeah. First Corinthians 1:20. Where is the wise? Where is the scribe? Where is the disputer of this world? Art not Yahweh made foolish the wisdom of this world? For after that, in the wisdom of Yahweh, the world by wisdom knew not Yahweh. It pleased Yahweh by the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe. 1 Corinthians 3 and 19. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with Yahweh, for it is written, He taketh the wise in their own craftiness. Colossians 2 and 8. Colossians 2 and 8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiment of the world, and not after the Mashiach, Yahushai. For in him dwelleth all the fullness of the Godhead bodily. And ye are complete in him, which is the head of all principality and power. In whom also ye are circumcised with the circumcision made without hands, in putting off the body of the sins of the flesh by the circumcision of a Mashiach. Revelation 13 and 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand, or in their foreheads. Yeah. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. The audio you just had, when it goes further on, can't play all of it. When it goes further on, it talks about all of this, the mark of the beast coming up. Even the Edens are talking about the mark of the beast. So we give our praises to Yahweh Basham, Yoshai Basham, Akadash. Shalom to the Ophel.